Hi friends, this is your girl Becca Sarah. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm doing fine. So today I am going to talk to you guys about a film I watched, and that film is called We Live in Time, and it stars the amazing Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. I saw a lot of commercials and promo and trailers about this movie, and this is a romantic comedy drama film, and rom-coms are my favorite type of films. Every time I see a film that's like that, I get excited and I want to see it when it comes out, and especially since it also has like actors that I like as well, Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. I was excited to see it. So pretty much this film came out in North America. It also came out in the UK and in France. It came out also in the TIFF Awards. That's an independent film festival. So it started there, and this is an indie movie. Not a lot of people probably have heard of it. And so it released in TIFF on the 6th of September 2024. It came out in North America on the 11th of October 2024, and on New Year's Day this year it came out in the UK and in France. I, on the other hand, I saw it on the 19th of November of 2024. I was thinking, should I do a review on this? Should I not? And I decided to do a review on this because I feel like there's things I can talk about. So if you want to watch the film now, I have a couple of options for you. You can watch it on Prime and rent it for $5.99, aka $6, or you can buy it for $9.99, aka $10, or watch it on Max. So those are your options. But knowing me, I like to do bad thoughts first and then good. So this film is gonna be different from normal films that you're used to. It has a non-linear storytelling, and by watching a non-linear storytelling for the first time, I found out I hate those kind of storytelling. And by the way, non-linear is going from A to W to P to Z to X to F to all over the place. It's kind of like a spider web. Not actually like a spider web. I would say more of like when you see a child scribbling and it's like all over the place. And I don't really like that because by the way, this review is going to have a lot of spoilers. So we start out, he gets divorce papers from his wife, and then we end up seeing him and someone else, aka Florence Pugh's character, dating, and then they're engaged. It's all over the place, and then we see her die. It's all over. It's not in order. If you want to see the movie and you are an Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh fan like myself, I would, after watching the film, go on either Wikipedia or any website that has the linear A to Z timeline and read that, because then it'll make more sense. And because of the like it going from he's getting divorced to they're dating to this it brought down my score. Good. Here's the good news. Everyone in the film did a great job. Everything looks amazing. Florence and Andrew did a great job overall. I felt that they were dating. I felt like they were married. Everything was very, very realistic. When I start the recap and everything, I just want to let you all know that I am going to say Andrew and Florence because I don't know how to say Florence's character's name. And I don't want to butcher it, but I do know how to say Andrew's character's name. His character's name is Thomas, and I don't want to just say one of their characters and then not the other. I want to be equal and fair to that. Their daughter, I'm going to say her name, which is Ella. Just a side note, this is just for everyone to know as well. This is a rated R movie. The rated R does not when I started watching the film, I'm like, why is this rated R? And then I would say like in the middle, when they're having sex, particularly at some point when in the like non-linear storyline, you're like, oh, okay, now but it's just like one part, like one of the flashbacks that you're like, oh, okay, this is rated R. So the rated R is worthy of it for some scenes, but not really. Just the ones that you see them have sex and you see Florence's character naked. But other than that, it's tame. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna do the recap now. Okay, so we first start off with Andrew's character. He gets a knock on the door, and then a police officer comes in and gives him divorce papers served to him by his wife. Yes, his character is previously married. We don't know by who. We never get introduced to her. We don't know who she is. I'm assuming they had a bad marriage and probably were high school sweethearts. We don't know particularly, but I feel like he's probably like, okay, good, the marriage is over. If she didn't deliver me papers, I was gonna deliver her papers. And he's looking for a pen, cannot find one, so he goes out of his apartment because I'm assuming like they are separated, and he goes to either a CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, one of those convenience stores to purchase a pen. And he's pretty much in pajamas, like pajama pants, shirt, robe. This is like all based in New York. And he buys a pen. The cashier that's all he's getting is a pen because he literally just got a pen, like one. And he's like, yes. He gets out of the store, gets hit by a car, and the person driving the car is Florence's character, and she feels really, really bad. Drives him to the hospital, waits there, so guilty of hitting him. Is like, sees that he has a wedding ring and be like, okay, I'm a chef at this restaurant, your meal's on me, I'll pay whatever you want. It doesn't matter if the food is expensive or the drink is expensive, it's on me. I hate you almost died, I got you, bring your wife, etc. And Andrew's character agrees. he gets to the restaurant, he orders his food, and like a lot of chefs do in different restaurants, a lot of times they go to the different people, be like, how do you think of the food? How do you think of the food? She does that. She's like, do you like the food? What do you think? And he's like, it's really good. Your food is really delicious. And then she wonders, where's your wife? I invited you both because I felt terrible. And he was like, we're getting a divorce. We're separated. We're getting a divorce. And she feels bad. They end up hanging out. They start dating, falling in love. She makes him breakfast. She shows him how to perfectly crack an egg because she's a chef, and they crack an egg a specific way. And so pretty much she cracks it up high, and then it cracks, and then or hits it on the side, and then she doesn't automatically put it in the pan, because for me, like when I crack eggs, like especially over easy eggs, I just crack on the side of the pan and then put it, and then it goes into the pan. But it's very interesting to see like how chefs like actually crack an egg. And then after that, they move in with each other. They get really serious. He tells her he loves her and he wants to spend the rest of her life with him, and they have like serious topics about that. And he tells her that he wants kids, and she's like, no, I don't want kids. I never want kids. Kids aren't for me. They go to a friend's baby shower, and he brings up the topic again to her. They get into a bad fight where they go back and forth with each other, which felt like a very, very realistic, like they were fighting. They go away from each other, then come back eventually, and she apologized to him, he apologized to her, they apologize to each other and continue dating. He overlooks, and he's like, I just want to be with you, I love you, even if you don't want to have children, it's okay, we'll work it out. So she ends up having some abdominal pain, and she goes to her doctor, and it ends up being that she has ovarian cancer. And through all her cancer treatment and everything, literally Andrew's character was there supporting her, being there with her through it all, which is lovely to see. She has to cut her hair, where she feels very, very self-conscious about her gynecologist was like, okay, so you can either do a partial or full hysterectomy, and she decided to do a partial. And when I heard her say that, I was like, what would have happened if she did a full one? What would be the difference? Would that help the cancer 100% not come back? It was like things that I was like thinking about. But either way, like I said before, Andrew Garfield's character was so present. He respected her decision, was there with her through it all. And because like no one knows like if they're gonna survive cancer or not, she was like, you know what, because I love you and let's try for a baby. Let's try. So they try for a baby. They do everything they want. They have to do for a baby. They keep trying and trying and trying. And her gynecologist told her, like, there's a less likely chance that she will get pregnant. Like, she doesn't have a chance at all, actually, to have babies naturally. She'll either have to have a surrogate or adopt because of the treatment she has to have, the intensive treatment she has to have, because she has cancer. But after like there were zillion and one try of trying, she finally, like, they were like, one more try after this, if it doesn't, then we'll give up. She finally gets pregnant, and on New Year's Eve she gives birth to their daughter and only daughter, Ella. And literally she was healthy. And the weird story about her giving birth to Ella was Florence Pugh's character, she was experiencing cramps. It was time to go to the hospital, and as it is New Year's Eve, the roads are backed up, especially in New York. They could not get to the hospital, so she ends up giving birth to Ella in a gas station. And then two of the co-workers have to help Andrew Garfield's character help Floris's character to give birth. And once they have done that, cut the bill cord and everything, she gets to a hospital. So it's a unique way of giving birth. Not ideal, but things happen. So they spend time, they have memories with their child, they get even closer and closer together. So then around 3 years later, Florence's character becomes the head chef of her own high-scale restaurant. And when that occurs, magically and horribly and unironically, and why does this happen in like every movie that has someone struggling with cancer, her cancer comes back. And how she was like, okay, something's wrong, is she feels pain in her wrists again and then in her abdomen. And she goes back to her doctor, and her doctor says, oh, you have stage 3 cancer. And I'm like, okay, like, she did partial. That's why if she did full, would she be in stage 1 or stage 2? Like, it just went from, oh yeah, we can take it out, to like, oh, she's at stage 3 cancer. Which I'm like, well, that went to an extreme, which I feel like probably that can happen. And I feel like, for example, like, I've seen a lot of rom-coms when one of the couples have cancer, they go to chemo, they do everything to take out the cancer, they have 3 years of being free of cancer, then the cancer comes back, and that character either decides to do chemo again and ends up not surviving or dying at the end and making me cry, or decides not to go into treatment and dies also and makes me cry. So I'm like, these like cancer based storylines don't always end well. The person ends up dying anyway, which is very upsetting. So to continue the story, her doctor said, by the way, you have to start chemo right away. And she was like, no, I don't want to do chemo again. I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do any of it. I want to live life to its fullest. I want to do everything that I've never done. That's what I want to do right now. I want to do everything I want to do. I had a child. That's great. One, it's fine. I had a child. Check. I would love to get married. Do that. Oh, what do I have on my bucket list? I want to do everything that's on my bucket list before I die. And like before, Andrew Garfield's character, supportive there for her, is great. He ends up later later-ish, because I'm telling you guys this in order for it to be like chronological and be in a linear way, but it's kind of like, I would say later-ish, kinda, because again, it goes back and forth a lot in timeline. It's not linear, it's non-linear, so it goes back and forth a lot. He proposes to her because literally in the film, he proposes to her. She gets cancer again, and then they're sending out, it's not in order, so she gets cancer again. At some point he gets a ring, proposes to her, they make a date, she picks out wedding dresses, they do all the wedding things, preparation for the wedding. One of her mentors helps her enter a contest because she's super good. A cooking competition. They get to the finals. Literally at the finals, like, she makes it at the buzzer. At the buzzer. And then at the end of that, she's like, okay, I made it to the finals. Like, if we won, we won. If we didn't, we didn't. She leaves with her daughter, and then they go to an ice rink. And at this point, she's like, I did everything I wanted to do. I did accomplish everything. If we won it, that's great. If we didn't, that's not. And us as an audience, we don't know if they won or not either. So, going back a little bit, before, like, she's doing the, like, competition and the cooking and the practicing, making sure she's on time behind Andrew Garfield's character's back, because her doctor's like, oh, because you're not going to chemotherapy, or even if she was going to get a chemotherapy, you need to relax. You can't overstress your body because the cancer is attacking you. Or if she was going to the chemotherapy is attacking her. So you need to, she's not doing that. She's overexerting herself. She's making herself more tired, and like a good fiance, he's like, oh, what's wrong? Why are you so tired? What's going on? And they have a big fight, being like, and he's like, you're overexerting yourself. You should be resting. And she's like, no, I want to do this competition. I should have told you about it. I know you're supportive of me. I know you should have. I know I should have told you, but I'm gonna die at some point because of the cancer. I want to check this out on my bucket list. This is the last thing I want to do. And he's like, you want to do this? Okay, I'm supporting you. We'll be there, because they were in the audience. Him and Ella, we're there for you. I just wish you told me in the beginning, we would have been at all your competitions, not just your last one. And like, since her first time having cancer, she did not regrow her hair. She kept it short, and at one point, her co-chef, who's a chef that works for her, she's like, we'll do it together. And then that chef ends up shaving her head as well as support, and she's very, very grateful for that. And to tell you a little bit about Florence Pugh's character, she was before a professional figure skater. Her parents got her into figure skating, and she got sick of it, so she turned to being a chef. That's a little bit about her. But at the end of, and this is the end of the movie, she leaves with her fiance and her daughter Ella, and they go to the skating rink, and she watches her fiance and her daughter Ella skate. She's getting weaker, and eventually they go home, and then she dies, which is very, very sad. And then we get some time later, and by the way, they bought a big house at some point during the film for them as a family. They have its own chicken coop, they have their own, and we're with Tomas and Ella, and they're visiting their garden chicken coop. And right now, because Ella, she's very young, she lost her mom. Her dad Tomas is like pretty much consoling her, comforting her, helping her cope with the physical, psychological, and emotional grief that she's dealing with by losing her mom. And the last scene of the movie is Tomas teaching Ella how to crack an egg properly, like how chefs do it, just how Florence Pugh taught him. Overall, this movie is a good movie. It's a great rom-com. It has really good drama in it. Acting really good. I'm really glad that I watched it. And like I said before, like, the only thing I hated about this movie was that it had a non-linear narrative plot. I hated bouncing around, and that made it really confusing. I feel like nowadays, because this is the first film I saw that had a non-linear narrative, so I feel like this is a new thing that directors, writers, producers are doing, and I want them to stop doing that, because this is very confusing. I came out of the movie very confused, being like, wait, what? Okay, like jumbled up, and because of that has lowered my score for this film. Because of that, like, please just have the regular linear plot narrative. It makes it easier to digest, and then you're like, because you can go from A to Z or A to K to M to P. It doesn't make sense, and it's like, oh, okay, we're going in order. He gets hit by a car, and then next they're doing wedding invitations. And about the wedding, because she died before they Florence Pugh's character died before they actually got married, unfortunately. So he had to call everybody being like, the wedding's canceled, and everything they had set up, saying the wedding's canceled because Florence Pugh's character died. So he had to do that. He had to do his own grieving. He had to help his daughter with the pain and grieving. So, like, the ending was very sad. But I hope that no other films do this, like, non-linear narrative, because I feel like it's new, because it's very confusing. I feel like I'm not the only one that felt that, but I feel like also that a lot of people love the movie because they love Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh and their characters and how they had great chemistry, and they keyed in on those points rather than like, oh, it went not in order and it was confusing, or they're like, okay, at the end they're like, oh, okay, I put this together, or they went on Wikipedia or somewhere to like read how it went from how it is linear to understand it. And I feel like a movie shouldn't make you have to go back and read it from beginning to end to understand it. And I talked to you guys about how Florence Pugh, she was a ice skater, professional ice skater, to a chef, which is a big jump. He is a Weetabix representative as well. And it didn't really feel like again, I feel like where this place is set, the setting of this movie probably is more England based. Yes, it's more England based than New York based, but I feel like some of the shots look like New York as well, but I feel like the setting is more England. And by the way, Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh are British, so I thought that was really cool that they shot this movie in England. But overall, I would give this movie, if it wasn't for the linear narrative, I would give this like a 4 out of 5. But because of the linear and everything, I'm gonna give this movie a 3 out of 5 because it confused me a lot, and it made me be like, what's happening? Like, huh? Like, what do you mean? Because like, for example, here's like an example that happened in the movie. And this is what confused me a lot. There's a part where she talks about how she does not want kids. Florence's character talks about how she does not want kids at all. She does not want any kids, and Andrew's character was talking about how he wants kids. Next scene, they're talking about trying to have kids. Not saying like people can't change their mind, they can, but like, how are you going from a scene shit? She's like, I don't want kids, I don't like kids too. They're trying to have a child, and then after that, she's getting rushed. They're going to the hospital. Oh, it's a false alarm. It's not time for her to give birth. It's the Braxton Hicks. And then we continue, and she finally gets into actual labor, and then she gives birth in a gas station. And I'm like, that's very confusing. And this is how I am like, a non-linear storytelling does not work at all. And no other movies, if there are other movies out there that do this, please stop doing this, because it's very confusing for the audience. I know I can I'll put it all together at the end, but no, I don't want to be doing that, putting it all together at the end. Or like, oh, this was A, this was B, this was C, this was D, E, F, G, H, I, etc. I want it to be like, oh, okay, in order. It would make more sense, and like I said, it would let me have it be a higher rating, in my opinion. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.